Hey darlings, today I want to talk more about fear. So, in my polyamorous relationship, it has been super up and down, but the last week has felt very intense and very much so extra up and down. So, what had happened is it felt like we'd kind of hit our stride. I was talking about this with my main partner, Five, and saying, it feels like we're figuring things out. Feels like we haven't really had any big emotional reactions. It feels like we've figured out our needs and everything's going okay. And then we found out that Ronnie was not okay, that Five and I were fine, but things were hard for her, and she was really struggling with just some past stuff. And then also, her relationship with her other partner was getting really strong and really bonded, and it was harder being around me and Five because she had that love and connection, but that it wasn't there. We, Five and I, get to see each other pretty much every day, and because I live with them, but Ronnie's partner lives a couple hours away, and there's all sorts of things that make it so that they can't see each other very often. And so it was that difficulty of seeing people in love and knowing you have that love, but knowing that you can't have it the same way. You can't be with that person you really want to be with. And then she had revealed that she fell out of romantic love with Five, because a lot of times when they were together, it might be him venting and talking about his feelings about her partner and the struggles with that, and struggling with her being so in love and compatible with that other partner, and how spicy wise, that partner and her fit really well together, and it's not as much so with Five and her. And so it was less of a give and take kind of relationship and more just her giving. And that's what she's been doing for most of her life. That's how she was raised, was to give, that you put your needs on the back burner. And so she's working on discovering herself and figuring out her own needs and everything. But that was a thing she needed, was for him to show up, to be there in the relationship. And so you're saying it's going to take work and time. And so I, first of all, felt really bad for Five, because every single day he would talk about the connection that he'd have with Ronnie and how he was really concerned about it. And so it felt like in my mind that was the only thing on his mind, and that it was this huge thing, and that I was kind of a smaller part of his life. But then he had been being a bit more present with me, and I was starting to kind of realize, hey, I think I am an important part of his life. But there was still that thing in the background of my head thinking, but every single day he talks about their connection. And so I just felt bad for him, and thinking he must be feeling crushed, he must be feeling panicked, and just really worried, because he's already been worried about that connection. And so at one point, Ronnie had wanted 2 full nights a week of just her and Five. And originally it had been just a couple evenings, and we would all sleep in the big bed together. And I had a harder time with this, because I'm used to sleeping with the same person every night. And I like just all of us sleeping in the big bed, and so did Five. And so it was just hard. And then she was thinking, oh, actually, I think I could be okay with it. And so we tried that for a bit, all of us sleeping every night. It was amazing, and I loved it, and I felt so much more secure. And it just helped knowing that even if they had their evenings together, that Five would be coming back to the bed, and I could cuddle with him and just have him there. But she said that she needed the full nights back. And then he agreed, where he was saying, yeah, it's really nice not to have to worry, like, oh, it's bedtime, we better get back to the bed, but just that they can talk and whatever, and not have to think like, oh no, like I have to go spend time with, this is not what he said, this is how my brain is processing it, but oh no, I have to go back to Kira, that's so frustrating. Like I said, he didn't say that, but my brain just goes there of, you are an inconvenience to me, and it's nice to not have to spend time with you. So I have to work on whatever that limiting belief is. But having the 2 nights, the 2 full nights, and that Five likes them and likes the time away. That's not what he said, but you can see me working in real time of my brain trying to like think the worst thing and me being like, brain, stop it. But yeah, so struggling with that, feeling bad for 5, and then feeling scared because I'm worried that he will think this isn't worth it, that Kira is just in the way, and also just this fear that if Ronnie ever was like, yeah, this is hard and I want to go back, just come on back to me, 5, that he would shove me out of the way so hard and so fast and come leaping back into her arms. But they both acknowledge that that's not going to happen. And so what happened very recently after her saying the, falling out of romantic love is that they decided their relationship had shifted because they originally thought it was going to be them, this core couple, and they'd have other connections. And it's turned out that they're not the main characters in each other's story anymore. So for Ronnie, her other partner is so big in her life and they are so connected and so compatible. And, they're realizing that things have changed, but they still need that time as best friends each, over the couple nights a week to keep that going. And then also to keep the intimacy that they have. And so it's confusing to me because nothing is changing. But it's just them acknowledging that things have changed. But I'm so confused. And then it's been interesting because 5 has been more present with me at times. And it almost feels too good. Like I can barely look at him when he's in that headspace because it's like the amount of love pouring out is so big that it's scary thinking about when he's not present. Because it's like God is shining his face upon me and then turns away and is like, no. Like this weird, like feels so amazing. And then when I don't have it, it feels so bad. And so I've been struggling with that because I'm like, oh, he is showing more love and is more present, but then also has been getting really, really preoccupied with everything going on. And so it's hard to enjoy when he is present. And then it's like, this is so good that it's going to be horrible if it does end. And he had said that he's going to be in mourning for the relationship that he had with Ronnie and that he might try to revert. And so that is scary to me. And then there's that sense of, why am I not good enough? Because Ronnie seems so excited and in love with her other partner. And there's this sense in me that 5 doesn't have that same excitement for me. That Ronnie's like, I'm ready to move on. Like, I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to sleep with you. I'm still going to have basically what we had. But like, I'm ready to just be with this other person. And it feels like 5 does not have that towards me. And so there's definitely these feelings of, why am I not good enough? And I'm trying really hard to know that that's hopefully not the case. I don't know, it feels like it's the case, but to just know that I am lovable and I have a lot of really great qualities, and that, anyone who is with me is kind of lucky to have me. It feels weird saying that because it sounds very egotistical, but I'm just trying to shift how I feel because it has felt so much like there's just so much longing that he has toward Ronnie, and just that she preoccupies so much of his mind and his heart, and that I'm just kind of this like consolation prize. And he's worked really hard at providing reassurance, but it's so hard to let it in because he would talk every single day about the connection with Ronnie and how he was really concerned about it. So that part's been hard. And then part of me wants to figure out how can I distance myself, because what if he does decide that he doesn't want me and he only wants Ronnie, and that it's too much, it's too hard to let it go. If I can figure out how to distance myself, how to love less, then it will hurt less because I won't care as much. But anytime I've tried to love him less, it has felt terrible and impossible. And so it's like, why do I even try? I know it doesn't work. I know I can't, and it just hurts. And then I just keep sitting in the fear of when he is present, it feels so good, and I could maybe have the main partner I've always wanted, but maybe not. And it's just, and then sometimes I'll feel super elated. I'll think, oh my gosh, I do get to have this, and it feels so good. And then I'm thinking, well, I'm a jerk because they're both in mourning, and I can't just be like, yes, oh my gosh, I get 5, and I love him so much, and oh my gosh, and this is amazing. Because I might not get him. And like, he's aware enough that I've tried asking for reassurance, and he'll say like, oh yeah, I think things will be great, or yeah, once we get through this, like, it should be really awesome, or like there's not certainty. There's not a, we'll get through this and it is going to be amazing and I'm so excited to have my life with you. It's like a, yeah, I mean, it should be good. And so there's just that fear of, it might not be. I might get cast aside. So trying to not be afraid, trying to trust, trying to just let go has been so hard. And then, like I said, I feel weird for the moments I am happy. So it feels like a mess. And I know I need to figure out working on my self-talk and figuring out how to not go to the most negative places, and how to let the kind words that he says just permeate and to really sink in, and for me to believe those words, because I don't want him to have to keep trying to reassure me and for it to kind of just get shoved out, because my brain will think, well, no, you can't possibly mean that, because Ronnie has been such a big part of your mental bandwidth that you can't possibly actually want me the way she wants her partner, her other partner. So there's so much work to do, and I feel like it's never ending. But I'm going to keep trying. Let's see what happens. Hopefully good things will happen. We will see. Okay, bye.